Hello, GameDudeMat back again, and today had another video over some recent pickups I wanted to show you. Yeah, I got Haunted Castle running on MAME 32. pretty hard game indeed, unless you have the right cheat codes. Anyways, on to an awesome pickup I made recently. So I was looking around a thrift store, pretty close to my wife's job, you know, kill some time, and of course hope to find something gaming wise. I check thrift stores quite a bit, not here recently, I haven't had the time, but whenever I do, I'll check for a while. And most of the time I find nothing. And, excuse me there. Though that can be a little discouraging, you know, make you kind of want to give up because, you know, you keep just finding nothing over and over, or somebody else beats you to the punch, because a lot of people are doing this nowadays. Don't give up. I've actually made several awesome thrift store finds, and maybe I'll make a video soon over all of them that I've ever found before, because I actually have some truly remarkable finds. And this one today is one of them. So I was looking around, and I was digging through a junk bin, and I'll show you how I found it first. Came across this. I already knew what that was, and I picked it up, and I'm like, uh-oh. Awesome. A red Nintendo DS Lite. I'm not getting it to focus the way I want to, and the shade of red that it really is probably won't show on the camera. It probably, yeah, it just looks like a blurry tomato colored brick in my hand on this camera. Let's see. It's hard to get it in the right lighting, this type of plastic. But I assure you, it's a very pretty, like dark red metal flake almost kind of look, like a classic 50s car. So anyways, I found it, and I was looking it over and everything, and it was in the, like I said, it was like in this big milk crate kind of thing with the just random electronics just jammed in there. And I didn't know what to expect. I was nervous to open it up. Let's see, can I do this with one hand? I opened it up thinking I'd see screens just beat to crap, scratched up. And to my surprise, not a thing wrong with them. Now, they weren't this clean. They were covered in fingerprints, but that's all. I'm like, no big deal. I can take Windex and, you know, some kind of soft cloth, like, I don't know, a sock or something, you know, that I don't care about, and just go over it. And, yeah, like, parts of the plastic, like, down here and stuff, and on the bottom had, like, this weird white stuff that kind of looked like corrosion or something. But no, I'm not sure what it was, but it was dirty. And I went ahead and asked the guy at the counter, hey, how much for this DS Lite? And he went, I'll do $6 on it. I had to keep my jaw from dropping. You don't want to get too excited. I always get scared that if I get too excited, they'll be like, hey, he really wants it. I'm going to change my mind. But it's like, sure. And he said, well, only $6 because we don't have a charger for it. I dug around for a while. They really didn't have one, but that's okay. $6. I bought it, walked out. And I knew that I could go to one place for a cheap charger. It's a local game store near that area. And it's a small guy. It's a small guy store. You know, it's not corporate. It's not a big one. I wasn't going to go to, say, Vintage Stock, if anybody knows what that is. I don't know how many places have a Vintage Stock. But Vintage Stock and Game Exchange, I like those places. I can usually find something decent. People are just picking through their inventory, like I was talking about earlier, anymore nowadays, so it's getting harder to find. But the thing is that I don't like about them, Vintage Stock especially, they think they have a gold mine. You know, there's been times where, say, what's a good one, a good example? Let's say, like, I don't know, Knights of the Round on Super Nintendo. A pretty rare game, right? Cartridge alone with a sticker intact, like $45-50. I'll see it where it's so beat up that more than half of the sticker is gone, and they've had to write Knights of the Round in black marker, and instead of like $15, $20, which is reasonable, no, still $45 or $50. I mean, are you kidding me? I've seen like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the Dreamcast, disc only in a slim case for like $80. You know, are you smoking dope? Really? You know, knock off like 40 or 50 bucks or something, because it ain't worth that when it's that poor. So I was not going to go to either one of those places for a charging cable. I figured they'd probably charge me 20 bucks. So, like I said, I went to the small guy business. I walked in and I was like, hey, just had a question. Told him about the find I made. I was like, yeah, I just bought this DS for $6. He was like, oh, F yeah. And was asking him if he had a charger, and he dug around and found one. First we hooked it up, tested it out, and I'll go ahead and show you what happened. Of course, after charging it for a minute, we turned it on, green light. Aww, you hear that beautiful sound? Did you hear that? Let's do that again. We turned it on and heard this, and saw this. Yes. Fully functioning. Nothing wrong with either screen, as you can see. But anyways, to continue, we tried it out and everything. I asked him if I could buy the charger he had, because he dug around and only found one, but he said, sure, no problem. And he only charged me $5. And I am serious, once again, I probably would have had to pay 20 at like vintage stock. Not trying to knock them or anything, but just being honest here, I probably would have had to pay 20 bucks at like vintage stock or Game Exchange. There we go, now it's focused. This is a GameStop style, charger that's universal. It's got a USB on the bottom, so I can also charge it from a computer, anything with a USB port. And it comes with 2 adapters. This one here, oop, there we go. Come on, focus. This one here goes in your DS Lite. And I believe this one goes in like a DSi XL. So anyways, to try to cut this short, not ramble so much, I got this charger for $5, this DS Lite, which is in pretty good shape. After cleaning it up and everything, and wiping down the screens, and wiping everything down, and scrubbing it, didn't take that long, really. I'd say it's in B condition. Just regular B, not minus or anything. I'd say it's in B condition, because there is, like right here, this is just nitpicking too, okay? Yeah, you see, oh, see that? It's kind of having trouble focusing. But on the corner, there's like a little gouge mark, like maybe someone dropped it. But kind of common, I guess, and kind of surprised it also had a cartridge door left. Oh, by the way, I forgot to include it here. I'm going to set this down just a moment. I forgot to include one last thing that the guy did for me at the game store. Be right back. It was missing a stylus as well, so he gave me this. Let's see, get it in some less orange light. It's pink, but you know what, whatever. It works, and it's also for the original DS. It's not that big, because the DS Lite has a fat pin, but that's okay. I can just get another one if I want to, but hey, it works, and I'm not getting fingerprints all over my screen. So yeah, altogether 11 bucks. With tax, I'd say probably $13. So next time you buy a DS Lite on eBay, you demand to pay only 13 bucks and see how far you go. Moral of the story, check thrift stores. Check them, don't be shy. As of right now, I've only got 2 games that I can play. I don't have any DS games, unfortunately. But I've got 2 GBA games. I got the horrible, atrocious Mortal Kombat Advanced, because I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan and was suckered by that title years ago when I was like 13. I just held on to it for some reason. And I have Donkey Kong 3, which I'll go ahead and spill the beans on that one. Another thrift store find. And I'll get into that one later, because I do plan to make a video about all of them I've made so far in the last couple of years. Well, that's about it for now. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think. Leave a comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.